So welcome back, and this is round 4 of the Southern League and Open from Eastney Beach. So it's quite windy. It doesn't look windy because the beach faces south-west and the wind's coming from the northeast, but it is very windy and my camera's already been blown over a couple of times. So tonight we're probably looking at dogfish. There may be a place early, and there are reports of small smoothhounds around, but no big smoothhounds reported yet. So on the menu tonight, some of the usual stuff. I've got my thinly cut mackerel strips there. I've got ragworm. You can see in the far corner there's a few peeler crab. I've started peeling some of them. I'm going to whip a bit of cotton around that. I've got some prawns. And then for after dark, I've got some sand eels if we go for the dogs. I'm going to try the crab early because in daylight we might get a hound or a place. But after dark, I might switch over and make it sand eels. So I had a decent bite that first cast, but I don't know what bait it was on because all my bait was gone. So what I'm starting with is ragworm on the bottom, crab on the middle hook, and a bit of mackerel on the top. But as I say, I don't know what I got the bite on because all the bait was stripped. So there's my first spider crab of the year, and this might explain why the baits are all being stripped. You can't catch fish while you've got a crab on your hook. So 1 hour in, and it's been far more active than I thought it would be. First cast, I saw someone have a decent ray, somebody else had a pout, no, not a pout, a whiting, someone had a small smooth hound, and someone had a small bass, all first cast, all within a few pegs of me. I had a really good bite first cast, but it didn't come to anything. I had a good bite second cast, it didn't come to anything. Third cast didn't have a bite, but it felt very heavy on the way in. But it was my first spider crab of the year. And then fourth cast, heavy again, but this time whelks. Pablo next to me, it went quiet after that first sort of rush at the beginning. It did go a bit quiet. There's the odd little fish coming in, and Pablo next to me's just had a small smooth hound. So the small smooth hounds are there. I suspect that's what gave me the bites. But I don't know why I didn't hook them. I've got a new rod. I've bought myself a Ziplex M4 GT, and tonight's the first time I've used it. Casting wise, I like it. It's easier for me to compress. It's got a nice sort of flick on it at the end of the cast. Need to get used to it, but I think it's going to be good for casting. But I also need to get used to the fact that it's showing up the bite so much more than my Century. So that's the Century Tip Tornado Super Match, which is a nice casting rod, but it's a bit of a broom handle. It doesn't show up the bite so much. So you have to get used to, I shouldn't have, the first time I've used the rod shouldn't be in a match, but I need to get used to how to react to the bites differently. Didn't see as many bites on the Century, but didn't miss many. And I wonder if that extra firmness in the rod, that extra tension in the line, helps the fish hook themselves. I don't know, but whatever happened, I've had 2 decent bites and missed them both. So there's definitely fish out there. We're approaching low tide now, so it might go quiet for a while. But I've quite enjoyed it, even if I'm only seeing other people catch fish. I've quite enjoyed that. Certainly a lot more action than I expected for this time of year down here. But there's hope. There's hope. There's fish out there. Let's go and get one. So this smooth hound's only 39 centimetres, but it is my first smooth hound of the year, and at least I'm on the card. And that's a decent sized dogfish on a squid head. So I don't know how well this is going to work, guys, because one of my microphones will stop working, so you might get a lot of wind noise. So that's 2 hours in, and the score to me now is 4 spider crabs and 2 whelks. But then I decided to change, a bit of a change, because I think the bites were coming from small smoothhounds, and I thought maybe my baits were too big, and it's hard, I find it hard to get a crab bait the size I want, so I changed to prawn so that I could get the bait size exactly as I wanted. And first cast with prawn, I caught one of those small smoothhounds. So next cast I had prawn on one hook, still kept with my mackerel on the top hook, but I went with squid on the middle hook because again, I can control the size of the bait, and I know that the smoothhounds take it. But I didn't get a smoothhound, I actually got a dogfish on that cast. But anyway, I'm catching fish, I'm on the card. And also, I did get a tangle. After I got the smoothhound, I got a bird's nest on my reel, and I could have changed reels over on the new rod, but I thought it was a good opportunity to go back to my century, because I'm used to it. And first cast with the century, I had one little bite, and I got that dogfish. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Ziplex. I think it's excellent. I think once I get used to it, the casting is going to be better, because I don't think I'm beefy enough to really compress the century as much as it needs to be. And bite detection wise, the Ziplex is definitely better on the bite detection, but I'm just not used to it. I need to probably adjust the way I'm fishing for the Ziplex, but for tonight I've gone back over to the century, and I've got some fish. So the spider crabs do get a bit annoying, but that's why the smoothhounds are here. So that's 3 hours down, and the last hour's been quiet, and that's mostly because it's low tide. So I haven't had any more fish, but I think I'm now on 5 spider crabs and 4 whelks. Yeah, so that's my first spider crab of the year. I don't think I've ever had quite that many. Amazing that you get them to the beach. You think how many must be out there eating your bait. I'm able to get 5 to the beach. It's been quiet around me as well, so it's not just me now. It's been quiet everywhere for the last hour. So I haven't been talking very much tonight, and I probably haven't got the footage I wanted because the wind blew the camera over, and since then the microphone wasn't working. So I've just managed to get the microphone working again. So before this, you might have some dodgy audio, dodgy footage, and some really dodgy dub overs or something. So I obviously didn't fix that microphone very well, so here's another dodgy voiceover. So what I'm talking about here is bait needles, and a lot of people advise you to have a bait needle with the blunt end, and that's because they use them with worms. And a worm, once you've cut the head and tail off, is just like a tube, and so it slides very easily onto that blunt baiting needle. But I also like to use the point needles because the blunt ones don't work very well with other types of bait. So here's a squid head, and the pointy needle will go easily into the squid head when the blunt one wouldn't. And I'd whip that on a bit, So I think it's a good idea to have both needles to cope with different baits. And you can use it with, this is a squid head, but you could put bits of fish bait or crabs. And that's my sermon for the day. So, turns out what I needed was a working microphone. That's what was stopping me catching. Get the microphone working, and there's a double shot of dogfish. Oh, and a whelk. So there's another dogfish, which will take me over the 100 ounces, which is nice, but I don't think I've done very well this evening because there's actually a lot of fish being caught. So 100 ounces isn't going to be there. I think I'm going to still be near the bottom of my zone. But, you know, before I came out tonight, if I knew I was going to get 100 ounces, I'd have been pleased with that. So that's 4 hours gone, 107 ounces, 4 dogfish and a hound, about 6 spider crabs, 4 whelks. It's been alright as an evening out fishing for me. It's been alright, but I haven't done very well because there's no lot of fish caught tonight, and other people are getting a number of hounds, no really big hounds, but there's been quite a few in sort of 3-4 pound sort of mark that I think I've seen. So I don't think I've done great, but a lot of that, I think, was that first hour I didn't seem to be hitting those bites. Well, I've caught some fish. So there's my first proper hound of the year. That's 75 centimetres. Well, last cast out there now, and I finally got a hound. You know, maybe I should have stuck with the big crab baits from the beginning, but I was missing bites when I was used to. Sorry, no, you carry on. So my camera stopped working, so I've used the phone. What do you reckon? 70. God, it's 70. Yeah, 70. 70, right. Yeah, 70. Right, I'll get him back. So that's 201 ounces for 7 fish. The largest fish was a smoothhound of 52. So a good night on most occasions, but I think everybody else has done better. that was a nice night. See you at the check-in.
57 fish, so zone A is 1 to 20, B is 21 to 40, and C is 41 to 60. So zone A first. In 4th place from peg 19 with 183 is Darren Kramer.
Well done, Darren.
Well done, Darren. Nice one. 3rd from peg 8 with 270.
How was your coffee?
Well done, Darren Newland.
No.
Third from peg 8 with 217 was Darren Newland. He's gone. 2nd from peg 14 with 319, Jamie Boylan.
He's gone as well.
He's gone. And the winner from peg 1 with 507 is Darren Stevens.
Well done, Darren. Well done, mate.
Long time coming.
I'll take Jamie's and Geordie.
So zone B in 4th place from peg 34 with 291 is Joe Wells.
Joe.
Well done, Joe. As well.
He's gone.
Joe didn't have his card up. He's when he asked Joe didn't have his card up wrong, he was 10 points too much and he went down 2 places. 3rd from peg 33 with 294.5, Billy Potter.
Well done, Bill.
Well done, Bill.
Oh, he's gone and all.
Take that one as well. Might as well. Any more?
2nd from peg 39 with 299, Dean Scott Dennis. And the winner from peg 32 with 539, Darren Bond. So the winner come from zone C. 4th from peg 51 with 497, Ben Arnold.
Well done, Ben.
3rd from peg 60 with 559, Richard Dorgan.
Well done, Richard.
Buy yourself another pack of fags, boy.
Yeah. Fucking boy, 100.
Peg 57 with 586, Dave Wade.
Well done, Dave.
And the winner of the match from peg 48 with 638, Mike Taylor.
Well done,
And the heaviest fish was a smooth hound of 138, which was Darren Stevens. 138 ounces. Don't panic, that's a big long one.